It's T-minus 12 hours or so since it happened. What am I talking about? Well, Sunday Night Football is usually the highest rated show on Sunday nights. Last night, the Tennessee Titans played the Los Angeles Rams. Tennessee Titans without their running back Derrick Henry still bullied the Rams around and won the football game. But I wonder how many people were watching that compared to how many people watched the long-awaited, then postponed, supposed to premiere in June, then July, finally premieres November 7th. Can't wait. I think the ratings may be better for the premiere of Season 4 of Yellowstone than it was for the NFL last night. If you have not watched Yellowstone and do not know what I'm talking about, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Without any spoiler alerts for those of you who go back and watch it streaming or whatever, the first 15 minutes of that show was maybe one of the most intense 15 minutes I've watched on television in a very long time. And, streaming shows like this have taken, played on channels that aren't necessarily normal, like the Paramount channel. These kind of shows have taken off. If you're not familiar with the show, it stars Kevin Costner as the patriarch of the Dutton family, who in the 21st century still wants it to be the 19th century. Kevin Costner's character does. John Dutton wants it to be back when ranching was what was idolized and romanticized in the westerns that we've seen from the 1940s through the 1970s. The Native Americans in that area have a different idea. They want to build casinos and resorts. There's another group that wants to build an airport. There's another group that wants to build ski lodges. He just wants to hold his ranch together. That is a massive piece of land right in the middle of all this area that these people want to be developed. That's the premise of the show. Literally, I believe it's an episodic show that you have to watch each episode because it's kind of soap opera-ish. Where you have to watch the show before to know what's going on this week. They don't tie. It's not a 1 hour story that they tidy up at the end of every hour. And last night, the premiere of Season 4 was probably, to a lot of people, as anticipated as the episode of Who Shot JR on Dallas. I know people last night that literally sent out text messages. I'll read one to you right now. Yellowstone is fixing to start. Don't anybody blank bother me for the next blank 2 hours. That's a text message that was sent out to about 23 people that I'm friends with by one person. Don't bother him for the next 2 hours. Yellowstone's on. You can go watch all the seasons of Yellowstone. You can find it streaming anywhere. I don't know where all it's streaming. Peacock, Paramount Plus. You can go watch all of them. But I was amazed at how many people on social media and through text messaging all were saying, don't bother us, Yellowstone's coming on. And I thought, this is a phenomenon. I mean, this is up there with the Tiger guy. It's up there with Who Shot JR, because his last season ended, all the Duttons were in trouble. Except for Jamie, but he's not really a Dutton. He's an adoptee. As you left last season, John Dutton was laying on the side of a road riddled with gunshots. His son and daughter, both, one had been in an explosion, the other one was in his office when they came in with machine guns and attacked. And that's how we left the season. A year and a half later, they came back. Much anticipated. But I thought, is this what people do to get away from reality? And I know that's what they do. Turn the TV to something that's not bloviating politicians, telling you how bad the other side is. Turn the channel so you don't have to hear about how bad, COVID is, and that you got to have mandates, and that if you got people over 100 people in your company, you better get them vaccinated, or the president's going to come get you. Yeah, his motorcade's going to pull up. But a lot of people last night on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, through text messaging, don't bother us. Yellowstone's coming on. I'll be honest with you. My wife was watching 90 Day Fiance. I had been out at the Charlie Horse event. I'd taken her home. She had gotten chilly, so I'd taken her home earlier and went back to the event at Charlie Horse. I got home late. She was already watching 90 Day Fiance in the living room where it was warm and toasty with the heater on. So I had to wait until she had finished watching her programs. Equal opportunity. So I didn't get to start Yellowstone until about 10 o'clock at night. So I was up till after midnight because it was a 2-hour premiere event. Riveted to the television. Just like everybody else, it seems. That's not usual for me to block everything out and say, this has to happen. But I did. But last night it went right up against the NFL. I'm very interested to see the overnight numbers against the NFL. Because usually the NFL wins easily. I don't think so last night. The Duttons may have held their own against the NFL last night. They may have held their own. The weather for this week coming up real quick. I'll give you the weather before we go to break. The weather coming up this week, it's going to be nice. It's supposed to be a warming trend will take place. Today, sunny. High temperatures around 70. Wind out of the north. That's why it's chilly. The winds start to shift, though, more of a northeasterly shift tomorrow. So it'll be sunny and about 76. Tonight, the low will be around 45, 46. Tomorrow's low will be around 54. Then Wednesday, as a more southeasterly breeze turns back in, the high temperatures will be about 78 with the lows near 60. Veterans Day, which is this Thursday coming up, it's going to be partly sunny. High temperature around 80 degrees. So it'll be great for the events that take place out at the Veterans Park. On Thursday, the temperature will be around 80 degrees. Thursday night, it'll be near, mid-60s. Friday, about 80 degrees again. And Friday night in the low 60s, high 50s for a low. So there is a warming trend coming up. Not back into the mid to high 80s, but to the high 70s to low 80s. Right on time for about this time of year. We'll talk with Carol Ann Baldwin, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin, more about that tomorrow. But the weather looks like it's going to get not as chilly as it was today for the remainder of the week. We're going to take a break, come back after this timeout. You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
The United States has reopened its land and air borders Monday for non-essential travel to foreign visitors from over 30 countries, provided they are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Government officials and business leaders say they may never know the full economic impact of the traveler ban on border communities in Canada and Mexico that had been in place since March of 2020. 8 souls lost their lives on Friday at a music festival in Houston, Texas, the Astro World Music Festival. An estimated 50,000 people in the crowd began to stampede towards the front of the stage. The push triggered a panic. NASA's reporting an